Good evening and welcome back to the Archers Arena here in Cardiff. We're getting ready for the final game of the day of the Under-18 Four Nations tournament between England women and Wales women. I'm Kaz here with Tom and we're going to be with you throughout today's game, which is due to tip off in around 2 minutes time. We've had an absolutely fantastic day, a full day of basketball. We've been here since 9 o'clock and we've had some great games. Just coming off the last one at 5, Wales v Scotland. Scotland winning that one 74-53, a huge win for them. And Tom, we saw earlier a great game between England women and Ireland women earlier on.
Wow.
What a game!
I've been texting people. I've been speaking to anyone who's here that will listen to me. Okay, we're making sure we're pinning our colours to the mast. If I get there in front of the camera, you can't see Kaz. That Ireland-England game was one of the best games I've ever seen. And I've been telling everyone who's listening, I was so impressed by Caitlin Glockner and Orla Gormley, their guards, Emma Tolan, who was a rebounding machine. You know, England couldn't just click, and they have a chance to right their wrongs as quickly as they possibly can here.
They do. So England, having only played around 3.5, 4 hours ago, they're going to finish that last game. So they're going to be raring to go, make a point that loss against Ireland was a bit uncharacteristic. They want to get back into the win column and finish the day off, finish the tournament off with a win against Wales.
Yeah, and you know, the final game of the day, last year it was the battle of the 2-0 sides. It's a very different vibe this year. Wales are playing for, you know, their first win of the tournament. England playing to show that they are at least the second best team and show that the loss against Ireland was a bit more of an aberration. And, you know, the crowd's atmosphere is a little bit different. We're hoping it'll start to feel a little bit more, but don't get me wrong, whoever's in here will be making plenty of noise. I think once the boys have had their debrief and they start to filter back in, we'll soon hear this place.
Speaking of noise, the crowd between that Ireland and England game was just absolutely incredible. Everyone seemed to be behind Ireland almost as the underdogs.
Yes, England on the road and definitely the away team in that fixture. You know, the Ireland boys going crazy. Wales boys, understandably, probably not siding with England. Poor England. Even the Scotland girls even got in on the act on the end. You know, I think it'll be a little bit more of a nuanced atmosphere, but every single game in this tournament so far has had some form of atmosphere, and already we can start to see and we can hear the bench girls. Caris Roy injured. She would be starting for Wales. She was fantastic last year, part of that All-Star 5 team MVP. She's been out injured all season, but she's still around the group, and she's still like the heartbeat of the team and the environment.
And it's great to see. You know, unfortunately she is out injured, but it's great to see her still around the team and being part of that group.
Her and Izzy Bunyan are thick as thieves, those two. You know, I've refereed games where they both table together, and you turn around and they're always giggling to each other on the sideline. But they both love playing for Wales. That's the thing. They absolutely love representing their country, and not much can ever take them away from it.
So first possession goes to England, and Forster in the corner calling for it, puts up the 3 straight away. That doesn't fall for England, but Gibbons jumping in for the rebound, and Louisa Gibbons all tournament long, she's been fantastic, rebounding, offensive rebounds, getting her hands on those jump balls, and just her presence on defense. She might not be a scorer, but England don't need her to do that.
No, absolutely not. When you know, she's a scorer at the domestic level, but not everyone can be a scorer when they come up. But you know, I think it was 6 offensive rebounds in that previous game. She just made herself a nuisance
she did.
to Ireland, and Brooke Leo's going to have her hands full dealing with Louisa Gibbons on the boards.
Out to Porter, so she tries a 3 and that doesn't fall. And we saw England struggling a little bit from behind the arc in the last game. And they'll be looking to try and right that here as Strickland nails the 3. And that's going to get England on the board. So 3-0 to England so far. Yeah,
that one looked good from the moment it left the hand. A nice smooth release. I wonder if maybe Laura Milligan just doubling down on, if you guys are open, you need to let it fly.
Yeah.
And just give them a little bit of confidence.
Because this is a team of shooters as Emma Bailey drives to the basket and draws the foul.
Yeah, and she struggled in the last Wales game. It just didn't seem to be happening for her. Good to see them sort of almost go straight to her there and let her get downhill. And when she goes, she attacks hard, and she's a strong young woman, so she can take that hit.
Bailey hits the first. And again, Emma Bailey, one of the players that we saw last year at the tournament. she's previously played for Wales at the under-16 level, and it's great to see, isn't it, players coming through that development pathway, playing under-16, then playing under-18.
Well, and it's really important. I think every coach we've spoken to has said that they've got under-17s playing. You know, they've got people who'll be around next year. So you know, it's not just 12 new players every season, and that's great for continuity.
Absolutely. As Daisy Porter somehow gets that to drop in, such a friendly roll on the rim.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but nice to see her aggressive early.
Strickland, that three doesn't drop, but again, good luck from Strickland. Maybe a bit quicker than they might have liked, England, but if you've got the look, she hit the one before.
Well,
can't be too mad about that.
And I think that's probably what, again, Lauren Milligan is saying. Like you've got to take good looks where you can get them. And early on you can try a few different things, and then as the game goes on you can settle down into what you think might work for you more consistently.
Bailey round to Porter, into Bunyan, got 8 seconds on the shot clock. It's stripped and stolen away by Cox. Gets it over to Forster. Forster, great pass into Strickland.
Nice pass.
Shot doesn't go, but she's going to go to the line. And it's good to see England here now. They look like they've come out energised, with confidence. Yeah, they haven't let that loss get to them.
Exactly, and I think that would be really important for them. If they came out still feeling a little bit sorry for themselves and a little bit sluggish, then you know it's almost all for nothing. Whereas they're just making sure that you know they still come out with that same purpose. Yes, they can't go and win the tournament now as it were, but it's not like the tournament's done. It's not lose and go home. Exactly,
it's a whole learning experience for the players. So I think there's a problem with the clock that the refs of the table are just checking.
What are they pointing to?
So the shot clock on the left basket is off.
Has it been unplugged? Has a photographer accidentally unplugged it for their own nefarious gain? Yeah, there we go. We're back in action.
There's a phone being charged somewhere. And that can be, we've got cheers from the crowd as the shot clock turns on and then boos as it turns off. So Strickland will be at the line for 2.
A deliberate unplugging from a Welsh fan to try and ice
Strickland
at the
going
line.
On here. I don't know if you can hear it on the stream, but you get a cheer and then as soon as the clock turns off.
I think that one's deliberate. I'm looking across at the shot clock operator there. You're supposed to turn it off on free throws from her perspective, and she's giggling away there. Everyone thinks it broke again.
As Strickland's first shot's good. And Grace Strickland playing in the WEABL this season along as Division 1 for Barking Abbey. She's been having a fantastic season, 17.2 points per game, 4.8 rebounds. She's 19 points per game in the WABL. Such an exciting young player.
Yeah, and with scoring like that is, you know, someone who ranks so highly in the country, and if that's their best skill set, that probably is a role that she needs to fulfill here.
And just there at the other end, she causes the steal. Forster on the wing, going against Bailey. Forster with a step through, off the glass, bit too strong. And tapped into the hands of Porter, so Wales with a chance here to take the lead. Bunyan, nice drive to the basket and off the glass. And that's what she does all day long.
Yeah, and she pretty much always wants to go right. If you make her go left, she'll probably pull up for the floater. You know, she saw that she had Gibbons on her. She's got the foot speed on Gibbons, and she just went for that one. It doesn't look like she was going full pelt. She went as hard as she needed to exactly on that drive.
That's tipped out. Last touch will be Wales. It'll stay with England. And England with a... with an inbound. Strickland to Forster. And a pass into Gibbons. Just a bit of a miscommunication.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, between the two Coppleston teammates, we're surprised by that one. It feels like they're the two players who should argue, or the third and fourth players who should be on the same page. I imagine the Porter sisters should probably be slightly more on the same page.
You think so, yeah.
Yeah. They're not sat around the dinner table discussing the nuances of pick and roll. What are they up to?
And Bunyan bangs in a 3.
Yeah, the homemade drums, the vuvuzelas.
It all helps. That's 5 points for Izzy Bunyan. Wales up 4. Hands off to Forster. Forster driving. And that's just, as she tried to pass over to Jacobs, that was just knocked away. Good control there by Bailey to keep it with Wales. Porter around to Bailey. She's got space for 3. No good.
Good defence, good help across, and some nice movement in transition. As of small, he'll probably be to be happy with that couple of sequences.
Gibbons tries a 3. It's not going to fall. Ball's out, and again, England get another chance there. And you see Felicia Jacobs' presence inside, both on the offensive end and defensive end. She gets in such good positions for the rebounds under the hoop. Yeah,
and Daisy Porter there was sort of the grin, knowing that she was fighting against 2 players, one of whom probably has a good 3 or 4 inches on her in height. That's a tough matchup down there, and the size that England possess across the board. They really need to look to make that pay on the offensive glass.
Oh, Cox with an amazing move to the basket. The footwork there, just a step through and off the glass.
Out footworking Izzy Bunyan is not an easy task, but that's 2 of the best young players in the country playing in the WBBL, going head to head, and 2 of the best technicians as well.
And Porter hands it off. She's blocked by Cox. It's picked up by Strickland.
Brooklyn made a couple of those jumpers when she just took them in the last game, so probably just needs to back herself.
And Katie Cox with a tough move to the basket, walking through traffic, and gets that to drop. That's a really difficult move.
Yeah, and with the presence of Izzy Bunyan looming as well, she wants to come across and swat that. And yeah, a really tough take to get it over the top of that wingspan. Katie Cox is a big guard. Izzy Bunyan's bigger. That's a really tough take, and way to convert the 3-point play, old school style.
And Cox has been really impressive throughout this tournament again for England. Really shown her leadership skills as well on this squad. And offensive foul call on Wales.
I think Brooke Leo just a little bit over-eager to set that screen. Again, one of those fouls as a coach, in sometimes moving screen calls really irritate you. In those circumstances, she's just desperately keen there to do what she can to get Izzy Bunyan free.
So a couple of substitutions for England as we see Leah Edwards into the game and Yumesi Meffel.
I was impressed by the impact of Meffel in the first game. It wasn't like she lit it up, but she just did a couple of little things that helped England get going at tough times. And yeah, she might be able to be that sort of key connector again here.
Stutz fires the 3. That's too short. Yeah, Meffel very quietly going about, having a really solid performance. As Bunyan draws the foul at the other end. And she'll head to the line. And we saw in the last game with England and Ireland, there was quite a lot of free throws. It was very...
We'll be interested to see how many drop in this one. But yeah, if both teams are going to sort of go relentlessly to the hoop, then they've got to, defenses have got to make sure they're disciplined, that they're on time on their help, that their hands aren't in. If they don't have that discipline, they could spend a lot of time standing around next to someone in a different,
and that's something we saw from England in the first game against Scotland. They did it really well inside. The presence of Louisa Gibbons and Felicia Jacobs just almost causing that blockade, and it was really difficult for Scotland to penetrate that.
49 free throws in the England-Ireland game, and the Wales-Scotland game had 54, if my maths is correct. So it's a lot of trips to the line.
Games can be won and lost at the free throw line.
Well, and then looking at these percentages here, there's not a particularly no one's knocking down 90% so far.
Edwards over to Strickland. Strickland's been great handling the ball for England this tournament. Gets it over to Meffel. Strickland thought about the 3 there. Drives, steps back. Passes inside to Edwards. Edwards manages to catch it, but can't quite put it up there. Jacobs with the rebound, and she's fouled. And again, Felicia Jacobs just been in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that's. I'm just looking to see the aftermath of that call. Looks like it's going to be Izzy Bunyan's second foul, and she just managed to get the shot off in time with Leah Edwards. I thought Wales were playing really good defence there, but fundamentally not enough early work done. And I think You know, this is a little bit understated, but allowing people deep post position, even if they're not actively involved there and then, they then have that deep rebound position. So post players will always be battling, because if you allow someone to be camped just outside the charge circle, then they're more likely to get that rebound than you are. So they'll probably need to do their work a little bit earlier, even almost before the shot's gone up.
And Jacobs goes 2 of 2 from the line. And that's her first points of the game to go, along with 4 rebounds.
This is a big stretch now for Wales. If they're going to survive this game, they need to make sure that they can get some scoring done with Izzy Bunyan off the floor. Izzy's such a dominant player, and rightfully so, that I might just see a few more shots distributed around evenly, and I'd especially like to see the 2 Porters here in front of us put up a few more efforts.
Porter comes up against 2 England players and manages to get the ball back, stepping through underneath the basket. That is a tough move, Daisy Porter.
And a very small unit now for Wales. Deborah James injured in the opening game, and she's using street clothes.
And that's tough, especially when you've got Bunyan on the bench, and we saw it again. It's slightly mirroring the Ireland game, where we saw Gormley on 3 early fouls.
Yeah, and when your key playmaker and initiator is out, but she's also the biggest size, which is going to be Wales' problem. You look at the size that's out there at the moment. You know, there's plenty of size. Edwards is quite big. Methel's got some size at the wing. Gibbons is obviously one of the bigger players in the tournament. They've got the size advantage. So if they can hold on Wales, they'll have a chance. England should be looking to take real advantage of this moment.
Yeah. And Bailey with a reverse, can't get that to drop. Oh, great pass over, just a bit. Oh, that looked like it was off England.
Yeah, I think maybe the tip by Porter onto Edwards, potentially. But, yeah, really nice look ahead in transition. Didn't quite get it to go, but no, that's exactly the sort of thing. Get those easy points.
It's really good awareness as well. And Meffel there just getting a hand on the ball to knock it out of bounds. And we spoke about this last time. You know, it can be a bit irritating for the team. They have to set up, they have to reset again, get back into position. You just knock a second or half a second off the clock.
Yeah, she's just done the same again. I think Wales are setting up too low there. They're going to find themselves catching it in areas that they don't like, and they need to get themselves higher up the floor to give them more space to spring back into.
Strickland controlling things for England. Strickland looking to pass out. Stutz is all alone on the wing. That 3 doesn't drop. And Stutz has been good from behind the arc this tournament. She is anyway. She's a great 3-point shooter.
Yeah, and I think you've got to be slightly worried about that. You know she'll start knocking them down soon, so you've got to make sure that you're not giving the shooters the wide open ones. That needs to go to someone else.
And Stutz can't quite keep that one inside. Again, these long passes from England, like it's a good look. I can see what they're trying to do. Maybe need to slow it down a little bit, or keep going.
I think right now you probably keep being aggressive, and you may be impressing the change, maybe the change in angles for the runners. Maybe if they get wider first and then run onto it, it might slow the pace down enough that they can arrive on time. I wouldn't discourage the aggression too much yet.
And Wales will draw the foul there on the floor, so that'll be the 3rd foul on England. And timeout, Wales.
I think that's a good call there. You know, close game, it probably buys a breather for the players who are now about to carry a heavy workload. Can you pick up a cheap score here? Because everyone's struggling to score in the half court right now, but also Wales are especially going to struggle without Izzy Bunyan. You know, speak a little bit about the transition defense, but I'd also, you know, I'd be, okay, guys, we need to get back. Right, here's what we're going to run.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing a low-scoring game. Most of the games have been low-scoring across this tournament. 2 points right now could be very valuable.
Yeah, definitely. Welcome to everyone watching on the Basketball Wales YouTube channel. Thank you
the
for
Basketball Wales YouTube channel.
You could join the Basketball England YouTube channel if you want. We've had fantastic support throughout the day. Make sure to like and subscribe. We've also got some great content on the Basketball Wales Instagram for you, some interviews with some of the coaches, some of the players, table statisticians, referees, you name it, we've got it. So check that out on Instagram, and make sure to follow for all the news and follow-ups on the tournament.
I can't believe we're at the last game. It feels like a week ago that I arrived at the arena on Tuesday night, and also keep getting the days wrong. I kept saying Friday. I just assumed this was over a weekend. 12 games in 2 days. It's manic, but it's one of the best events of the whole calendar, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, I mean, time means nothing anymore, but it's such a fantastic experience. And Bailey. And to Morris, Porter going against Meffel. Around to Porter driving. Oh, great drive to the basket. Count it, and the foul. She's going to head to the free throw line.
Yeah, good aggression there. Good aggression.
That step through between two England players, fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't really see the gap that she managed to find.
I'm not sure it was a gap.
Oh, she kind of created her space and also went away from her body weight in a way. A very unusual move. Looked like she was leaning left, goes right. And you're to see she converts that free throw, but that's the sort of thing that Wales need if they're going to survive these Bunyanless periods. And this is always the thing with a star player. Obviously, the ball needs to go to them more. How does the offense cope? Does it move the ball more, or does it get stuck because it doesn't have that sort of player to deal with it?
As Edwards lays it off the glass. And we saw that earlier, didn't we, in the Ireland and Scotland men's game. Players need to step up into the shoes of someone that might normally be relying on. It's always really interesting to see who that player is going to be.
Yeah, and Wales are a group that have had a little bit more time together than most teams.
And Porter again just dancing her way to the basket. How she's getting these to drop.
It's not like she's changing her lines loads. She's not doing massive Euro steps. It's subtle changes. But it's a very similar group to last year. They have had a little bit of training time in recent weeks. Teams that haven't been together loads don't always know the pecking order, but here they know that it's probably Daisy Porter's time to shine.
Morris hands it off to Parkin, gets it out to Bailey. Bailey stepping through, and she gets that to drop, taking a leaf out of Daisy Porter's book.
Now I'm going to have to take a look at the stats, but in the minutes that Izzy Bunyan was on court, Wales are -2. I think they're now going to be +7 without her on court.
Yeah,
that's not what you'd expect.
It's not, and credit to Wales for having stepped up and been able to play without her.
Yeah.
We've got a substitution here. Neva Hughes in for Wales.
It's her first appearance of the tournament. Neva more of a spot-up shooter type of player. So perhaps just looking to really get the ball into the hands of Porter and Bailey, so Daisy Porter, and just let the shooters surround. To see Lily Parkin out there as well, an under-16. She played in Dublin last week. She's playing again this week. We've got under-17s out there for England as well. It's a great display of young talent.
There really isn't. Events like this, it's so exciting to see, and it's such a showcase of what we've got going on in the UK. As Edwards steals the ball away, stops, drops it in off the glass.
Yeah, and perhaps that inexperience showing. Lily Parkin, not very experienced in basketball. Here Edwards playing out in the Sierra Canyon. Just a different level, making sure that when you've got the ball and you're being pressured, you have to stay strong in your pivot.
Yeah, and Leah Edwards, such a fantastic young player. Like you say, out in Sierra Canyon, won the state championship with them last year. She's been the under-16 Women's National Player of the Year for 2 years running from 2021. And just a fantastic young player. It's very exciting to see, and think where she might be in 3-4 years' time.
This is the perfect opportunity for her to test herself again at that sort of international level and that intensity. I imagine there'll be some games she's played where perhaps a more technically proficient player, but it doesn't mean as much. And players need to be able to combine dealing with the technical element and the pressure of the situation, which is just showed in those last few possessions there.
As coming into the game, Amber Thompson just drops in a basket. And that puts England ahead by 1. So Thompson's going to be at the line, and that's her first points of the tournament.
That's a tough little period of play there for Lily Parkins. We're just talking about that composure. Her minutes are vital while Bunyan and Leo are off, so she needs to find a way to keep making sure she's making a contribution.
Ball's off Stutz.
Emma Bailey likes the throw it off the legs move. I think, if she picks the ball up, you better jump out the way.
Bailey working against Thompson. Over to Porter. Porter. Bit of a collision inside. I think Stutz is almost saying we just fell. It's a foul call, but
tough to ignore that level of contact, as it were. Both players falling to the floor. Yeah, I mean, you could argue maybe the leg got caught. I mean, it feels harsh, but at the same time, you probably really can't have two players hit the deck and not call anything. I don't know there. It feels like whatever the result would be, someone's unhappy with that one. We've said that a few times, but it's just the nature of sport, isn't it?
And Porter going 2 of 2 from the line. She's been fantastic so far here in the first. We've just got 15 seconds to go. And a tie game, so England can have the last shot here as Edwards powers to the basket, kicks it out to Thompson. And we got a whistle. And that is going to send Amber Thompson back to the line. She has made a real impact in just the 50 seconds or so she's been on court.
Yeah, three-point foul late in the clock is never what you want as a coach. And yeah, just comes to court and draws a couple of fouls, and cheap points when you can't score in the half court is pretty key.
And she's with the Sevenoaks Suns this season, playing in the WBBL side, so playing with some fantastic talent, and also learning from players like Renee Bush, Coach Len Bush. What a fantastic opportunity for her.
They were here on Saturday, so we saw Katie and we saw Amber in the game as well. And one, I wonder if they stayed down rather than made the trip back. But two, just the calibre of player that Sevenoaks Suns always have, and the high level of competition. The obviously pros in Arion Bradshaw, Julia Coppell's a very experienced player, Hodges a very experienced player. There's so many people to learn from about the nuances of the game of basketball.
And offensive rebounds fall into the hands of Louisa Gibbons, but England just can't get anything off before the shot clock. So we got 1.2 seconds left, so it's going to be a catch and heave here if they can get something off of Wales, and they won't be able to. So at the end of the first quarter, it is a 22-21 England lead over Wales.
Just a little run there by England to finish that quarter. It felt like Wales were about to open up. They got to a 5-point lead, sorry. Again, I can't read anymore. 5-point lead, and then it swung the other way just a little bit, and England up one. So a real back and forth battle here.
Absolutely, and you've got to think England are going to be pleased with that performance coming out of a relatively low-scoring second half against Ireland for them. And for Wales, Daisy Porter has been absolutely fantastic. 11 points on 4 of 7 shooting. She's got a couple of steals as well, and she's really led the team. Those drives to the basket, they were so impressive, as we can see one of them there.
Yeah, I think we were missing some of that aggression from Daisy Porter in recent games. I think perhaps not deferring to Izzy Bunyan, but just unsure exactly where her looks were going to come from. But the space opened up for these guys to take their drives, and Daisy Porter, we saw one there. We talked about it. She doesn't do massive Euro steps. She just changes direction ever so slightly and uses her body really well to finish, and that's a tough skill to develop.
It really is, and especially at such a young age, it's very impressive to see.
Yeah, and that's the exposure that playing at the WBL gives you.
Yeah.
We've got 6 coaches involved in this game, and all 6 have played in the WBL at some point. For England, Siobhan Pryor, stalwart of the Nottingham Wildcats, and Lauren Milligan with plenty of experience at Oakland's Wolves as a player and then as a coach. Azab Smalley and Beth Jones, they had a cup of coffee in the WBBL. And then Lauren Psyche and Shannon Hatch, they're involved with the under-18s at Cardiff Met Archers, where a lot of these players come from, but also, as anyone who follows WBL knows, 2 great players in that league. So there's so many great role models for these young players to learn from, who have been doing it at the level that they aspire to do it at, and I think that's so key for them. You don't have to have played to be a great coach, but it does help in these circumstances.
Absolutely, and imagine being a guard, being able to learn from Lauren Seiki. Like what a great thing that is.
It's like an offensive foul called on the hook, as if I'm translating the referee signals correctly. It's like a sign language all of its own.
So that is going to be a sideline ball for England. Oh, sorry, Wales for Wales.
Yeah, no, England not happy with that one, but yeah, it looks like the referee was just explaining that the jersey was grabbed, I think, on the post up, and then Emma Bailey manages to turn over. So we've got 2 turnovers to start the quarter. Probably not what either coach fancied. Not
quite how they wanted to continue from the first. Stutz pulls up for 3 and nails it.
Wales looking to jam the pick and roll and go under, daring England to shoot after that tough start. Poor Stutz, same thing that happened only a few minutes ago. Who gets a little bit run over. She's a bit late on that one. Just wasn't there. I can't believe it, but I don't think she was there before Emma Bailey was arriving at the spot. That's her third.
Did look a little bit late, and yeah, that 3 fouls early in the first half. That's tough for England because Stutz is a really good 3-point shooter, but they do have, you know, they've got a deep bench. We've spoken about this throughout the tournament. They've got a lot of options to go to. And you hope she'll be able to come back not too late on in the second half.
Katie Cox is a perfectly adequate replacement when it comes to shooting, and Olivia Forster's out there as well.
Stolen away by Forster, driving all the way, doesn't get the layup to drop. And Bailey looking ahead. She's got Hughes in the corner. Round to Porter. Hughes thought about the 3, back to Porter, and over to Bailey. She's going to put the 3 up. Oh, unlucky for that not to drop.
Yeah, I could just see Emma Bailey's dad at the top of the bleachers there. Just couldn't quite believe that one didn't fall.
And Strickland with a nice drive to the basket. No good, but Jacobs gets the offensive board, puts it back in, and gets the whistle. And that's going to be the 6th rebound for Felicia Jacobs.
So much size to deal with on the offensive glass. When you have to box out Gibbons and Jacobs, there's just so much size there to deal with. And even if you do box them out, if the ball happens to land to them over the top of you, there's sometimes not much you can do about that.
You can just reach out and tap it.
They've got that length to just come and grab it over the top of your head if they fancy it.
Ball's tipped into the hands of Jacobs. Cox, oh, great pass. And that is going to be an offensive foul call. Great defense from Wales. And that's an offensive foul call, so that's, you can see there, Cox. Porter just gets her feet set, and Cox runs right into her.
Yeah, Lauren Milligan not happy about that one, but to me that looks like a pretty fair call. Just a tiny adjustment by Daisy Porter just to make sure she covered the path and took that one right in the chest.
And Porter really, really stepping up here as well in the absence of Bunyan on both ends of the court.
Yeah, and with Bunyan being on 2 fouls, you know, same as Rosie Porter, same as Brooke Leo, but Rosie Bunyan's so vital that you may need her at the end of the game. She took a bit of a breather, but she's back in now, and she's going to have to make sure that she's on her best behaviour.
And Bailey's blocked by Gibbons. Edwards comes up with it. And looks to move it round over to Strickland. Forster. Forster inside, kicks it out to Edwards. Edwards going against Bailey and can't get her shot to drop. Gets her own offensive rebound and puts it back in. It does roll back.
They need to get a bit more physical down there, Wales. They're being out-muscled by England right now, and they need to show a little bit more physical grit in that battle.
England up 9 with just under 8 to play in the second quarter. Bunyan driving to the basket. Beautiful layup.
Izzy Bunyan loves the fake handoff. I feel like she's only handed it off once this tournament and gone to the hoop about 12 times. She loves the fake handoff, and Leah Edwards is a little bit late on the help there.
So we got a timeout. England up 30-23 here in the second quarter. Daisy Porter has 11 points for Wales, and leading the way for England, we've got Felicia Jacobs on 5 points and 6 rebounds, and Katie Cox 7 points and a couple of steals as well for her.
I think the stat that jumps out to me right now would be the 8 offensive rebounds that England have. They're just creating themselves extra opportunities. You know, they've taken 8 more shots than Wales, and they're led by 7. So it says to me that, you know, the shooting percentages or whatever, but Wales need to find a way to limit England to 1 shot.
Yeah.
If you're forcing a team to shoot overall 36% and you're shooting 47%, You know, they've got 8 offensive rebounds, but Wales have turned it over 9 times. So it's a bit of carelessness at both ends, a bit more ball control in either direction. Whether or not they look after the ball or whether or not they grab some rebounds will help them immensely here.
Absolutely. So teams coming back on court. And both teams are really matched equally inside here. 14 points in the paint with both teams. And Wales doing a really good job there with the smaller size lineup that they've got out there. Strickland. Got the screen from Jacobs, swings it round to Gibbons. Back to Edwards. Passing inside to Gibbons. Turns. And that's going to be another offensive foul called on England. And that's going to be his second foul on Gibbons. As you can see there, she just gets the ball inside, spins, and I think it's just that elbow.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I think that's what the referee was just explaining to Lauren Milligan. She was talking about maybe Emma Bailey still being on the move, but I think the elbow overrode the potential on the move.
And Bunyan draws the foul at the other end. So she's going to head to the line. And Izzy Bunyan, after having sat after those quick first fouls. Oh, 2 fouls in the first.
Yes, too much alliteration going on. And after 12 games, our brains have finally melted. There's a few players on 2 fouls. Rosie Porter's on 2 fouls. Izzy Bunyan probably the key for Wales on 2 fouls. Brooke Leo. She's on the bench with 2 fouls. Katie Cox has got 2 fouls. And then Violet Stutz with those 3, including those 2 where she kind of got run over and was either fairly or unfairly penalised for those. So, you know, pretty even foul count around at the moment.
And Bunyan hits the second. Cuts the lead down to 6. Strickland. Going to the basket, kicks it back out to Meffel. Meffel, and a great move and banks it in. And Yasemi Meffel, she's been so good and maybe going under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, very composed finish there. Just got into the key and did what she needed to do.
Bailey, crossover, drive to the basket. Can't get that to drop and it's picked up by Edwards. Over to Meffel. Strickland moving it round. Jacobs underneath the basket. Great move. And we see her do that footwork that she has to get round her player and just use her height advantage. And
Bunyan can't go too hard for the defensive effort, knowing that she's on 2 fouls. That looked like it was playing in the back of her mind, and perhaps the stress of that forcing the turnover as well. Wales under a bit of pressure here, lead up to double digits. They just want to make sure they hold firm for these next couple of minutes, and if they can keep it at double digits for a while, they'll probably be happy with that.
Forster going against Porter, down to Meffel in the corner. Shots up, doesn't drop. Bunyan powering down the court, stops. Floater is good. And Izzy Bunyan.
There's that floater. No, I just looked across to my right, James Dorr, who we had on commentary yesterday. He's worked a lot with Izzy. Oh, big! I was just going to say, he just nodded his head in appreciation. He's not nodded his head in appreciation at that one, but I have.
That's a big 3 from Strickland. It's going to take her to 8. Increases the England lead. Bunyan looks to answer. She can't. Forster gets the ball over to Strickland. Forster thought about the 3, going against Porter. Out to Meffel. Meffel pulls up for 3. That's too strong. And I like the confidence, though, that we're seeing from Meffel. Yeah,
just that first shot seems to have really given her a little bit of a boost there. And you know, I think when you're playing for England, you've got players on your team, and I think this is probably the same with Wales as well. You've got players on your team who have been stars everywhere. And you know, last year we know that Olivia Forster lit this game up, and then you know, everyone knows about Katie Cox and Leah Edwards. It feels like you might want to defer at times, but if that's the right look, that is the right look, and you have to take that and to have the confidence to say no, it's okay. This is my time.
Yeah.
That quiet confidence, but that's a good sign.
It is. I mean, a product of the Nottingham Wildcats Academy as well. She's obviously very, very familiar with assistant coach Siobhan Pryor, and that's going to help as well when you've got some familiarity on the bench.
Yeah, and just someone to talk to if things aren't going quite well on court. You can just have a quiet word, or someone just says, "No, you're doing great. Carry on." You know, there's Alina Riley's another Nottingham Wildcat. We know that there were a few Wildcats in this team last year. I'm sure I recall Natalie Charity playing. So, you know, consistent products coming out of these places. We know that Wales obviously get a lot of their players produced by the Cardiff Met Archers, but sort of the powerhouses of player development at Cola and, you know, up in Manchester, Nottingham. You know, these places that continuously produce players, it's always helpful when you know at least one other person in a brand new group.
So back underway, Porter. She had the hot hand for Wales earlier. Over to Bailey. Porter on the baseline. Porter with time there, and she takes her time for the three. Doesn't go, grazes the rim. Rebound Wales, and Emma Bailey just drives to the basket almost unopposed and drops it in.
Yeah, there was one of those things there. Rosie Porter tried to dump it after Abby Morris, just couldn't quite get it to go. It was a lot of nearly buts and maybes, but in the end, it ended up with a great drive to the hoop. And you know, when you're going up against the size that England have out on the floor at all times, if you drive tentatively, you will not score. So, you know, Emma Bailey, she's fearless, so she's not going to be scared of a moment like that.
Edwards passes over to Jacobs, and Jacobs again steps through inside. And Felicia Jacobs just able to bank it in off the glass. And again, her footwork, her step through to the basket, just so great to see as we have a foul call on the floor.
Yeah, and that's team fouls as well. So a cheap one 90 feet away, whether or not you disagree. 90 feet away leads to free throws, and this is exactly what Wales need. Half a quarter just hoping to get to the line. Cheap points with the clock off.
And like we've seen, Wales have been able to drive to the basket. And if you know England are going to, on team fouls now, just keep driving, because you're either getting to the line or the baskets are going in.
And we've had the 10th and 11th free throws coming up for Wales. And England have been to the line 12 times. So both teams shooting a higher percentage than basically any other game we've seen so far. So hopefully they keep that up. I've seen some slugfests in here with lots of free throws and not many makes.
It's a difficult perspective, it looks like, where the backboards are.
Yeah, and with the way the lights fall, and every gym is brand new.
And Forster's three's good. That gets her on the board for today.
Yeah, it feels like she's had a tough day today shooting from downtown. We know how good she can be at it. So it's just one of those ones. Does that give her the confidence to light up? Or is that sort of a flash in the pan? It'll be interesting to see, because if she lights it up, then Wales are in a lot of bother.
It's always exciting to see when she does. And great rebound there from Morris. Gets it out. Bunyan at the buzzer, no good.
I thought that was an ambitious heave. She had a bit more awareness than me there. I thought that she was just launching that.
Forster saves it in, gets it over to Thompson, who can't finish under the basket. Porter going against Edwards. Porter again, so here, driving to the basket, draws the foul from Edwards, so Porter goes to the line.
That's just another one of those little subtle moves that we discussed in that first quarter break. And
as Jackie Osei comes into the game.
Yeah, almost stacking it on her way in for her first appearance. Yeah, again, one of these key little periods that we've mentioned. Wales, if they can live at the free throw line here, it's been a poor quarter for them so far. They were down 1 at the end of the first, and a 12-point deficit just in this quarter alone. If they could just live at the free throw line, got lucky on that last miss. They need to rebound, and if they keep being aggressive, they will get foul calls.
Yeah, I mean, and you've got around 4 minutes. You can play with that as well. So.
Yeah, you've got that could feel like 20 minutes if they can get to the line enough.
And Porter shot short on that second free throw. And Forster diving in for the jump ball against Izzy Bunyan. So it stays with Wales.
Yeah, one of the vagaries of statistics, but yeah, Izzy Bunyan be credited with the offensive rebound with that. I'm sure that if that had gone the other way, I think Forster would have been given the defensive rebound despite not rebounding the ball at all.
Right.
Either that or it would have been a turnover and a steal.
Bailey for 3, hits it! And Emma Bailey, 10 points in the game. Cuts into this England lead.
And I see Talia Toombs, by the looks of it, has come in for her first action of the day.
And Bailey steals it away.
I'm sure that she was out in Dublin as well. I don't want to be too certain, but another youngster.
Porter driving to the basket, drops it in. Daisy Porter making the difficult shots look easy today.
Oh, she's having a great, and this is what I expected more of Daisy Porter, and it's really great to see her showing her stuff here in probably the biggest game of the tournament for Wales.
I'll say inside, gets it to drop, and she's going to go to the line.
That's a big move. That little drop step goes to the left hand, and Talia Toombs commits the foul, but you know that's a really big move there. You know, she hasn't had much playing time over the course of this tournament, so you know, just halting that Wales run, just all by herself there.
Playing for Oakland College in the WABL this season, as I say.
So she should be able to give the scouting report on the Porters.
Seems over to Porter. Got Bailey calling for it on the wing. Daisy Porter against Thompson. Out to Bailey. Porter for 3. That's too strong. Forster trying to chase down the rebound, but it's Bailey that comes up with it. And Wales will just almost fall out of bounds with the ball as they're going for it. But just Emma Bailey just putting her body on the line for this team.
Wholehearted is absolutely a great word. When you talk about a captain, that is someone who, you know, we wearing these flags here, but it feels like she is the flag.
Yeah.
Like she, you know, just had a quick chat pre-game, and she, you know, she's always locked in. She's always aware of the situation. She, you know, she's able to switch in and out of smiling and laughing when she needs to. But that's someone who loves representing Wales.
Strickland's 3 doesn't go, but offensive board rebound. England. And Porter intercepts it. Over to Bunyan for 3. No good. And Hernandez with the rebound as we see her into the game for the first time for England. Osei. And can't get that one to fall. But England definitely with the size advantage inside here. Osei at 6'3". And Louisa Gibbons 6'2", along with Jacobs at 6'2". It's difficult for Wales to get inside.
Yeah, they'd give me some problems there.
Porter out to Bailey, 3 seconds. Bailey shots up, no good. And it's chased down. Porter comes up with it and somehow flings that in, scoops it up, and it drops in.
I'm sure I saw a travel, 2 fouls, a double dribble. It doesn't matter. You know, that's one of those plays where I'm surprised we didn't see bodies hitting the floor, but she stuck with it.
And Hernandez will be called for the travel on that as she just ran into a wall of Wales players. And again, some good defence from the Welsh here.
Yeah, they're just starting to find a little bit of their spark there. You know, every time they do something great, the whole bench is up as one. You know, 4 coaches can't help but contain themselves with excitement. You know, you can just about hear them over there in the background, and it's also a great opportunity for a couple of these newer players to experience something. It's like Caitlin Hughes is coming in, might be her first appearance as well.
Bunyan's shot doesn't go, Osei with the rebound. Forster to Meffel on the baseline.
Ooh, nice hesitation.
Meffel with the reverse. Oh, can't get that to fall. And Osei picks up the rebound. And she's fouled. And that is just the 3rd team foul on Wales this quarter. So it'll be an end line ball with a fresh 14.
Yeah, really nice hesitation move by Meffel on that baseline drive. Made it look like she wanted to come back to the middle. Let the defender just give her a little bit of a step, and she managed to sneak round. You know, and in this lineup here with a couple of faces, there's also a good chance for some of the, let's say, more junior players in the sense of not Olivia Forster and Grace Strickland to have to run the show.
Yeah, and we see players like Alexandra Hernandez coming in here. She plays for the Manchester Mystics, was a cup winner at the under-16 level back in January this year. Good to see her on court getting this kind of experience, along with Amber Thompson. And
I think that's a deep three there from Olivia Forster. We saw loads of that last season. I was emceeing the game last season. The bleachers were full, and just every time it felt like Wales were about to go on a little bit of a run, Olivia Forster just decided to throw in a three and kind of kill it off. And
I think that was a 7-3 game as well. That
one.
It
was a really impressive performance in what was effectively considered the final of the whole tournament. It was kind of it felt like a gold medal match as it were. And you know, Wales not quite able to replicate their success this year. Obviously, just missing a couple of players. Missing Caris Roy, probably most importantly, and I don't think they've played to their full potential either. Obviously, England losing that game against Ireland. You know, Lauren Milligan's rotated a bit more in this game to make sure everyone gets an opportunity, but they're still desperate to win. You know, there's no easing off in this game at all.
Yeah. You tell the players it's a friendly tournament, but it's not when you're on the court.
They only hear the word tournament.
Yeah.
And Wales versus England.
Forster from deep is too strong. And they'll probably be wanting to silence some people in the crowd as well who were cheering against them in the last game.
Well, they're not gonna quiet them like that. But yes, it was a very much an away game for England previously, and a good test of their character.
And Hernandez for three. That doesn't drop. And Alex Hernandez, she's a really tenacious defender. We see her in the Manchester squads. As Emma Bailey, her shot doesn't drop. But Hernandez pulls the rebound down. And Hernandez, a very tough defender and also a very fast player, likes to get out into transition and score. Yeah, and sometimes when you're building a squad, obviously they're looking for the future there. We're bringing under 16s. Lizzie Meffel, you know, she's probably the number two dog there as the buzzer goes, but you know you've got to build a team around a multitude of talents. You can't just pick the 12 best players and throw them all together. You know, if you might not only look for the future, but you bring in a fast defender, and that gives you a different option to throw at the opposition. Definitely, and that's, you know, as you say, that's part of the consideration, and that's why tournaments and events like this are so good, to give the coaching staff an idea of who works well together, try the different rotations out, what's going to work, and again, a chance for the GB coaches, the national team coaches, to have a look at who's out there and what they might be able to piece together. Yeah,
and you know that's probably the most important bit about this, is that obviously for three of the nations here, we are under a bigger umbrella, and every single one of these players has the opportunity to represent Great Britain. You know, there are players that aren't in this tournament that are likely to feature in those tournaments. That's just the nature of British basketball, but it's a great chance to put themselves in that shop window to say, no, I'm going to go out to the Europeans and I'm going to make you pick me. And some of these players out here today, I mean, Izzy Bunyan went last year along with Caris Roy. Yeah. I think she's still eligible. If she is eligible still, she better be there. You know, that I think players, no one stood out yet so far in this game, but you know, all it takes is someone to catch fire a little bit, or if they're looking for certain things. There's definitely an opportunity to impress.
So as we head into half-time, England hold a 46-39 lead. Tom is just going to speak with Izzy Bunyan courtside, just get her thoughts on the first half of the game. Down courtside with Tom and Izzy.
We're joined here by Izzy Bunyan of Wales. Izzy, how are you feeling about that first half so far?
Yeah, I think we're really pleased with how we performed. Like, we're down 7 right now, but I think this is the best basketball we've played all tournament, so I think we're looking to push on, keep those legs working in the second half.
So a tough tournament for you guys so far, and England coming off the back of a loss. Does it feel like a bit of a desperation match out there, but neither team wants to give anything up?
No, I think that we just are looking to do us. I think we're looking to perform better each game rather than looking at the results. Obviously we want to win, and that's what we're looking for, but we are just looking for a team performance where we've improved from our last game yesterday.
As Daisy Porter so far has been great. What's she been doing well that she's bringing to the team for you guys?
Oh, she's just attacking. Like we keep saying on the bench, they can't guard you. Yeah, she's lit. Like, we're really happy she's here. You know, she can get through about 5 people if she wants. Like, she's a dog.
I like that. I like that. And then, final question. I've been asking this to everyone, and I'm pretty sure I know your answer. But for you, what does it mean to represent Wales in Wales?
It's so fun. I actually love it. The Home Nations tournament is my favourite. I think it's my last junior year, so I'm just looking to have fun, play as well as I can, and I love all these girls, so it's really good to be here.
Well, I'm definitely not biased, but best of luck
Thank
for
you.
the second half, and go and enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you to unbiased Tom and Izzy there. Talking about the first half, Izzy with a big 13 points, 2 rebounds game in the first half. So, heading into half-time, England with a 7-point lead, 46-39. We're going to take a quick break for half-time, and we'll be back with you in around 5 minutes' time. Welcome back to the Archers Arena here in Cardiff. We're getting ready for the second half between the Wales women and England women in the last game of the day for the Under-18 Four Nations tournament. England currently with a 7-point lead as we head into the third quarter, and they have been led by 9 points from Felicia Jacobs. She has 6 rebounds to go along with that. And for Wales, Daisy Porter has had the hot hand, 14 points so far. And Wales looking to get back into this one, Tom.
Yeah, and we just had the privilege of speaking to Izzy Bunyan at half time, and she said they're just focused on them. They're not really interested in what England are doing. They just want to keep improving on their processes and see if the results take care of themselves. A heavy workload for Emma Bailey and Daisy Porter there. No substitutions. They played straight through, and I imagine Izzy Bunyan would have if she hadn't picked up those 2 fouls. But yeah, they're raring to go, and they look like they're having a great time. I saw Caris Roy take a layup in the layup line, so great to see her ACL's on the mend. But yeah, they just look like they're having fun out there. You know, they're down, and how many times do we see a team that's down that goes, oh, gets stressed?
Yeah.
They look like they're having a great time playing for Wales.
And that's great, though, isn't it? That's what you want to see. It's such an opportunity as well for the players on the floor. As we get back underway for the third, Strickland over to Gibbons. Inside to Cox, loses it, and Bailey comes up with it. And Emma Bailey has just been in the right place at the right time so many times through this game.
Yeah, she's got great instincts, just seems to be popping up defensively where you think that maybe someone shouldn't be, and then she has the ball.
And her 3 doesn't drop, but rebound there from Morris, so Wales get a fresh 14. And 3 doesn't drop, Strickland with the rebound.
Yeah, just short on a couple there, but open looks. Maybe England are willing to give those guys open looks from there, but I think for Wales you have to take them.
Jacobs looking to get a bit of count to Strickland against Porter. Strickland puts up a shot, doesn't drop, and draws the foul.
Daisy Porter caught with her hand in the cookie jar there. Just not with a great position, and that will give Strickland a chance to get this quarter going with a score.
Yeah, just the first foul there on Porter, and Strickland hits the first free throw. And the second one rolls out, but Jacobs, Gibbons and Bunyan fighting for the rebound. Jump ball goes with Wales though.
And again, we spoke about looking after the ball. They were turning it over too much and they were giving up too many offensive rebounds. If the presence of Gibbons and Jacobs will be a big issue for those offensive rebounds.
Bunyan working against Gibbons. Out to Morris. Porter. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Porter steps through to the basket, and she has been doing that all game long. That footwork, that step through. It's fantastic to see.
Yeah, just create enough space. It looked like I saw the lane that she wanted to take on the right-hand side. It closed itself off, but good patience to not throw out the prayer and to take her time.
And Cox hands it off to Jacobs underneath the basket, and just going to go out of bounds. And again, Emma Bailey. Oh no, apologies, that's Morris.
Yeah, same hair, it's okay. Now, the ball bouncing through Bunyan's legs there. She had no idea really what happened, but it says something about the Wales team, and it says something about Emma Bailey, where someone's on the deck and you assume it's the captain. I think that's a credit to her.
Bunyan over to Bailey. Kicks it out to Porter. Porter for 3. Doesn't fall. Jacobs with another rebound for England. Forster inside, passes round. Some good ball movement here from England. Gibbons stepping through against Porter. That's a tough move to the basket from Louisa Gibbons.
Yeah, I really like that drop step there. A lot of dribble drive action, just trying to get towards the free throw area and pass off to the next one. Wales made it really difficult. Wales played good defense there. England played better offense.
Bunyan stops, steps through. Fantastic move from Izzy Bunyan. Gets the ball to drop.
I don't think her footwork was quite in order there. She stepped through, but it looked like she stepped through with potentially the same foot. But the basket's in the scorebook, and you can't take that one back now.
Gibbons backing down Bailey. She's got the height advantage there. Can't finish the layup as Jacobs puts it back in for England.
Yeah, that'll kill you as a coach. You get the stop, but there's no one helping the helper. Izzy Bunyan came across because Emma Bailey was getting overmatched, and there's Jacobs on the weak side. Just thank you very much for my easiest score of the day.
Porter out to Bailey. Thought about the three there. And tough move inside. She draws the contact and the foul. That sort of almost low scoop layup shot that's been working well for Wales today, whether intentionally or not. As we've seen a few of those kind of go in.
We're seeing the hands up and just trying to avoid the hands. If the hands stay up, then you can scoop your way around. And at this sort of stage of the game, like getting to the free throw line, just trying to chip their way back in. But also just the nature of the two teams, that is a look that is available to them.
Yeah, England up 51-43 here in the third. Just under 7 minutes to play. And Bailey with 11 points in the game after that free throw.
We were saying that, they're down, and we could just see Rosie Porter and Abby Morris in front of us just sharing a laugh. And I've seen a few grimaces and laughter shared amongst the England team as well. They're enjoying playing basketball.
And why wouldn't you? Because basketball's great.
And
it's
you get
always
to
fun
play for your country.
Yeah. But
I mean, I've just taken a slating from my mum on WhatsApp for wearing the Welsh Welsh flag, but this is what this tournament's all about, isn't it?
Exactly.
International basketball.
Yep, and giving these players an opportunity to shine as Jacobs has the ball stripped by who else? Emma Bailey.
Well, open the hesitation, but she just took that ball right out of her hands.
And again, it's such a mismatch there in height-wise as well, but Bailey not phased at all.
Oh, and Katie Cox getting there, up there off the England bench. She was not happy with the defensive coverage. These girls have not been together very long. Katie Cox not happy with the defensive coverage. That shows how much it means to her. Yeah,
and we saw the leadership of Cox through the last couple of games, especially in that first one against Scotland, as Strickland kicks it out to Jacobs. Stutz round to Gibbons. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Gibbons against Bunyan. Can't get that to fall. Jacobs with the rebound, puts it back in.
Wow, that is a tough finish.
Alicia Jacobs.
Hurdling. That's how I describe it.
It was a hurdle.
Just avoiding the body on the floor.
No concern for anything other than putting the ball in the basket. And Porter has it poked away. Jacobs tries to save it in but can't quite get there.
And I wonder if they want to go pick and roll with Daisy Porter and Izzy Bunyan, if they're forced to pass, maybe they should be looking to make that bridge pass, make that extra pass and change the angle, maybe come back to the same side and look for that post entry there.
Bunyan, 4 seconds, puts up the three. It's off the front of the rim into the hands of Bailey. Bailey driving against Edwards, stops, pulls back. Short jumper doesn't go. Edwards, she pulls up for three. No hesitation there, doesn't go. And England with a 9-point lead here in the third. We've got just under 5 minutes to play. Porter hands it off to Bunyan. Porter on the three-point line, drives it inside. That shot's no good. Offensive rebound Wales as Bailey tries to hit the three. It doesn't go.
Just shot's not dropping right now, and England opening up just a little bit, really just scratching it away. It feels like an effort to get it up to 9 right now.
Stutz into Gibbons. Gibbons kicks it out.
Felt like she'd caught the ball or landed before she let that fly. Such a quick release.
And that is the so the England bench absolutely love that one.
Yeah, looks like they're going to have a discussion. The baseline referee, I think, has gone with the block, and the centre referee's gone with the charge. They're just going to have a discussion. We'll see if we can get the replay in before they make their mind up. I mean, was she still dragging the foot slightly? Was she in front? Be interesting to see which way around they go. Yeah, and they've stuck with the charge. They've gone with she had position.
The England bench definitely very happy with that one. And so Liv Forster hits a big three down one end for England, comes down, takes a charge, and that's the kind of all-round play that you love to see. Yeah, and
just two micro bits of possessions. It's only 2 actions she's done, but it's had a massive impact there on the game. Let's see the assistant coach for Wales asking whether or not she was in the charge circle for the benefit of the tape. No.
Forster. That's to Edwards. Edwards driving inside, great handoff there to Meffel.
Oh, nice pass.
Oh, I just can't finish. I love that from Meffel though,
just calm and steady in the post waiting for it, and a really nice backdoor dime. Shame it wasn't rewarded, but a great cut from Stutz as well. You know, it's great playing as a coach. You sit there and you go, yeah, fair. Like, we will score the next one. If you can do that again, go for it.
Like we say, not much practice time for these teams, and sometimes the practice itself can be on the court in the game. Wales down 12. Bunyan to Bailey. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Porter turns, fires. Three's no good.
Wales just struggling for a bit of momentum here. It feels like they're trying, they just can't quite get it.
It's a 10-5 run for England this quarter. And it was working so well for them in the second. I don't know if we caught that on camera.
No, those in the arena saw it. Ellen Howell's been out here helping all day, making sure that the tape on the court, if it bubbles up, is cleaned up, handing out the warm-up balls. She went to get the net down, and sadly her hops are not still with her. Izzy Bunyan saves the day. Which also makes me scared that I think Izzy Bunyan might have more hops than me.
Edwards to Forster. Forster for the long two. Doesn't drop. For England. And doing a really good job there defensively, forcing the travel call.
Yeah, heavily guarded, and I think that's a good timeout by Azeb Smalley. She needs to regather Wales in composure. It feels like 12 points in the context of this game, Kaz, is quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough ask.
I think the biggest lead for Wales it was 5. For England it's 13. Chipped away a bit, but the biggest run in the game is 9, so it's going to take multiple efforts. Especially Wales was only 6.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's you know, we've still got 3 minutes to play in the third. Still a lot of time left, but as you say, in the context of this game, it does feel maybe a little bit difficult, more harder than it has been in some games. And you know, this is the last game of the day. We've had 6 games a day for the last 2 days. England played only a few hours ago. Wales, their last games were yesterday, so it can be a little bit difficult getting into, you know, they haven't played for a while, and then they come back out at the last game of the day.
Exactly, we were having this discussion earlier, like, are Wales fresh or are England match sharp?
Yeah.
And that's the tricky one. I also think that Wales, you know, England took a bit of an emotional punch, but it wasn't long enough ago to absorb it, so they could almost brush it off in a way, like, no, we're going again.
Yeah.
Wales were not particularly happy with losing 2 games yesterday.
Yeah.
They were really targeting both of those games. And the Ireland game was especially a little bit of a heartbreaker as it was a little bit closer, but you know, they had the night to sleep on it. So does that mean that they're still carrying that weight? Have they got rid of it? We can't tell right now, but it'll be interesting to see how that manifests itself down the stretch.
Definitely. So Edwards for England inside, turns, spins, draws the contact. So she'll go to the line.
No argument from Izzy Bunyan. I'm not sure that Izzy's ever argued a foul call, to be fair, but yeah, really nice quick spin move from Leros as well. Not enough time to get back in. Such strong shoulders. That quick spin, very difficult to defend that.
Edwards misses the first. She's been averaging 7 points, 8 rebounds through the tournament so far. She's got 6 and 7 today. And second's good. That takes her to 7 points, 7 rebounds. And that increases the England lead.
And Izzy Bunyan comes out with that third foul. And I just wonder if it was worth just letting her play through it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless she's going to go back in to start the fourth. But, you know, if she fouls out, she fouls out. I mean, occasionally it's worth just letting people foul out.
And I can see how they can play with it, because you need to be able to learn to play with those fouls.
Yeah, and, you know, she generally plays very good defence. So I wonder if she'll come back in to start the fourth, maybe 3 minutes rest. She did cramp up at the end of last night's game.
Porter's 3 doesn't drop. And Meffel and Leo there fighting for the rebound. It'll be a jump ball, so goes with England. We really need a jump ball column stat.
Yes,
we need.
Yeah,
how many
it
have we
feels
had?
like I've called more jump balls today than I have for the rest of the year. It's just been, as soon as that ball comes down, people are swarming. Bang, 2 hands on.
Stutz inside to Edwards. Going against Porter, kicks it out to Cox. Cox for 3. And
Good play. Good play.
that is a big 3 for Katie Cox.
Yeah, the help comes across. Looking at the post up, putting your shooter in the corner.
And Porter again with another unbelievable step through to the basket, getting the ball to drop. And she's got 18 and now a chance at a 3-point play. She's been fantastic this game.
And as soon as Izzy Bunyan's gone out, it's almost like she sensed the moment to go again and make it her time to shine.
So you see there, gets the bounce and drops it in. And she converts the free throw. Leads down to 13 for England.
I like
Great
this
handoff to
action.
Cox.
I like this
Out to
action.
Stutz in the corner. That's short. Rebound's chased down by Bailey.
I'm stealing that one. Just putting your shooter in the corner and forcing the help from a particular place. That's a smart play.
Porter's pass is picked off by Cox. She's got Stutz on the right. And that's going to be a blocking foul inside. Cox had a couple of options there, but knew she could drive, draw the foul.
Referee just saying that Porter slid across a little bit too late. The coaching staff not a fan of that one. But when you're isolated, you leave yourself at mercy with any small movements, and a nice little step through from Katie Cox meant that your natural instinct is probably to follow.
Yeah. As Cox misses the first. And second one, there we go. Friendly roll on that rim.
Maybe the rim's finally being worn down over the course of 12 games.
It's taken 2 days and it's gone, okay, all right.
It doesn't get used particularly often here at Archers Arena in Cardiff Met. There's too many teams having to play on a weekend for the big court.
Jumper doesn't fall for Wales. Edwards pulls down the rebound. Pass over to Cox. Cox with a spin and the finish.
Oh, nice move, nice pass. Just went with speed, smooth spin move, nothing to fault with those.
Porter at the other end, it's picked up by Cox. Long pass over to Meffel, chases it down. And it's knocked out, but going to stay with England. And Katie Cox, what a game she's been having, what a tournament she's been having.
Yeah, really showing why she was. This is one of the hot young prospects of British basketball, and why Sevenoaks so keen to get her on board. If you're already being snapped up by one of the top WBL teams, we've seen with the Porters. Oh,
too easy for Felicia Jacobs.
Breakdown there. We're seeing so many of these players playing WBBL. It just benefits their development so much.
Bailey for 3, nails it.
They needed that badly. They
did. That's a 15-point lead for England. Alina Riley into the game for the first time for England. Edwards pass underneath the basket. It's not going to fall. Jacobs looked like she was fighting for that. It's Bailey that comes up with it. And at the buzzer, that won't go. So the end of the third quarter, England have a 65-50 lead.
15 points in 10 minutes.
Say a 19-11 quarter. And England just sort of turning it up a little bit here in the third.
Yeah, I think showing their overall technical ability, which is probably of a higher standard overall than the Wales team. I think it's probably fair to say that, and I don't think anyone will be too offended if I do so. Just at the key moments, being able to claim those defensive rebounds, but also the pass ahead in transition, and that spin move by Katie Cox, for example, was so nice. Izzy Bunyan forced to the bench with those fouls certainly didn't help, but you know, when you've got players that can shoot like that and they've got multiple shooting threats, then it's really tough to defend.
It definitely is, and so for England, Felicia Jacobs has been huge. 15 points, 10 rebounds in 19 minutes of play. And Katie Cox, 13 points for her. Leading the way for Wales, Daisy Porter, 19 points. And Izzy Bunyan, 15 points and 3 rebounds. Emma Bailey as well getting in on the action, 14 and 7 and 3 steals. She has just been all over the place today.
Well, she's played the full game so far. I think Daisy Porter's had 53 seconds rest. Looks like she might continue on the bench. But Emma Bailey, you know, as her competition averages 6.5 rebounds. She's a small guard.
She's a small guard, yeah. That's incredibly impressive.
She gets after it as much as she possibly can.
So we're back underway for the fourth quarter, the final quarter after 12 games.
Oh my God. Is that 48 quarters of basketball? Is that my math? We've had 47 so far. I think I can get that right.
That's a lot of quarters of basketball.
Yeah, that sounds like a maths GCSE problem.
And Porter there during the foul early on in the fourth.
And that, again, I feel like I've said this a lot, but especially for Rosie Porter, with this lineup, with no Daisy Porter and with no Izzy Bunyan, the scoring is going to heavily rely here on Emma Bailey, but also on Rosie Porter. Can she take the step up that her sister looked to do earlier and maybe have a little bit of an impact on this game right now?
Cox, pass inside to Jacobs, and Felicia Jacobs under the basket again, draws the foul. She's such a high IQ player.
Yep, looks like Brooke Leo just fell asleep slightly on the help defense. Felicia Jacobs just with the sharp cut just in front of Leo, and that put her out of position for the rest of the possession and ends up leading to the foul.
So Jacobs at the line for 2. The shot bounces out. And Jacobs' positioning, we've seen this all tournament long. We see it in the regular season, just her positioning under the basket on both the offensive and defensive sides. It's just so great to see as she drops that second free throw in.
I'd say especially for young bigs offensively, they sometimes struggle with knowing when to post up, where exactly to stand, and if you can get those habits into a young post player early, then they really don't have, they've got so much potential.
Bailey's just going to reset for Wales. Driving inside. That's no good. Jacobs with another rebound.
I think she's well over a double-double average for the whole tournament. And she's just been controlling the boards today.
Stutz out to the corner. Riley's shot doesn't go. And Bailey with a bit of a bump, but withstands it. Laughs it off.
Yeah, one of those interesting ones where I think if she'd have taken a tumble, it would have been interesting to see which way that goes, because I'm sure that's had to become an offensive foul in recent years.
Gibbons picks up the rebound for England. Over to Cox. And England, a much better performance this second half than we saw earlier against Ireland. There's a pass inside to Jacobs. So it's thought about the 3, gets it into Cox. Cox is doubled. Steps to, brilliant handoff for Jacobs underneath the basket, and she's fouled.
Yeah, what a pass. It looked like she was going to keep going for a hook move like she did earlier, and as she went up, she just chucked the hand sideways.
You can just see there.
Yeah, nice little step.
Great no look.
Such a nice pass. One of those ones where if you haven't played with a great passing guard all of the time, you forget to have your hands ready. and you know, that sometimes you're cutting through and you think, I'm just cutting through to clear some space, and there's the ball.
So substitution for Wales. Talia Toombs back in.
I would say that Wales need to get Daisy Porter and Izzy Bunyan back in almost immediately for one last throw of the dice.
Yeah, you wonder how long they might sit for.
I think they can always come back out later, but if you want to make your way back into this game, this has to be the moment.
Yeah.
You can't leave it too long.
We need to start to make a run as Jacobs' free throws don't fall, but Methel's there for the rebound. And Jacobs is there for the
Guess who?
second offensive rebound. Gibbons gets it out. And Strickland, she'll draw the foul and hit the deck as she does.
Rosie Porter likes to get into people, likes to play physical defense, likes to play handsy. I think she knows the risks when it comes to that. She just acknowledged that she fouled there and moved on, and it works for her sometimes, and sometimes when you play like that, it doesn't work. And you know, maybe Wales need to try a little bit more of that just to see if they can get away with a couple and maybe get 2 cheap layups in transition off obvious fouls that get missed type thing.
Gibbons back to Strickland. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Strickland's pass inside to Jacobs is picked off by Emma Bailey.
Yeah, they've started to front the post there, and the help defense just about got there.
We've seen what Jacobs has been doing inside and thought we need to try and close this down. And Porter with another unbelievable step to the basket, gets that to drop.
Seems nonplussed about everything, but that is an incredible finish.
And her teammates love it.
Wow.
Takes the contact, a much smaller player going up against bigger players. Sort of flicks the shot in, it drops, and she's going to the free throw line.
Yeah, why did it look like it went up through the hoop?
It almost did.
Straight up, straight down.
So that's 5 points for Rosie Porter. 13-point lead for England. Riley picks up the rebound into Gibbons. And it's tapped away. And the Wales fans are cheering like mad every time Wales do something like that.
I should say, I think 2 under 16s out there, just getting their hands on stuff, just doing what they can for the team, and I think the older teammates appreciating the efforts of the juniors in the junior team.
And just like they're like Toombs driving at the other end, tries to save the ball in, doesn't manage to, but you know, you love to see that hustle.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can hear that they're appreciating that effort, and that chant of Wales is often heard on match days around Cardiff. It's nice to hear it here.
Porter spins, goes against Strickland and hits the floor, draws the foul. And in this second half, Rosie Porter has almost taken Emma Bailey's place.
Yeah, someone's going hard to the hoop every single time, and she's taken on that role there.
As we'll have a timeout. So 6:56 to play in the fourth quarter. 66-53, England lead over Wales. And now you said it, Tom, if Wales need to make a run, it probably needs to be about now. Yeah,
I can see Daisy Borden and Izzy Bunyan still on the outside of the huddle, so you know, reading into that, looks like they're not coming back into the game yet. Hoping that Smalley's going to make that adjustment now. Doesn't look like it. I mean, this unit has done well, but if you want to make that push, you need to basically put, as I say, your top dogs back in. And you know, England have got a few more choices available to them, but you know, some of these players just need them to get a little bit more playing time. You know, Lena Riley's not played that much over the course of the tournament, so it looks like she might be taking a breather. But you know, a few players out there are doing great, and Felicia Jacobs has been just absolutely dominant, it feels like, all over the court.
She's been fantastic. 16 points, 13 rebounds, and it's also her presence as well. It doesn't show up on the score sheet. She has been averaging 9.5 points and 11.5 rebounds in the previous 2 games, so smashing that today.
Yeah, and I think it's the efficiency, 6 of 8. It's the offensive rebounding. It's the sheer presence. She's so tall, and she paints such an intimidating figure when you're driving. You know, she makes Louisa Gibbons look a little bit small from our perspective here, and that's saying something, because I don't think you want to be driving at Louisa Gibbons either.
Not at all. They've got a good twin towers duo inside, as Wales able to take advantage there as Parkin just drops it in straight out of the timeout. Yeah,
coaching staff happy with that one in particular. They feel like an assist might be owed to them.
11-point game. Edwards turns and spins. Doesn't get that to fall, gets her own rebound. And there's a whistle on the play. So Edwards going to the line.
Yeah, strong move, and way to chase your own offensive rebound soon after that sort of constant springiness, and I think Abby Morris knows that she committed that foul there.
So Felicia Jacobs taking a well-deserved rest as Katie Cox comes back in.
And we can see the Wales about to make some subs as well.
It looks like Bunyan and Porter will be back in.
This has to be the moment. This is probably the mini game defining period left now.
Maybe we need to wave our flags. That might be the spark.
I'll only end up blocking the camera again.
So Daisy Porter and Izzy Bunyan back in for Wales.
Lily Parkin thinking she was being subbed. She just assumed that Abby Morris was going to stay on, and yeah, assistant coach Beth Jones having to shove a player back on court. More often you see players refusing to come off court than thinking they're the ones who have to be subbed.
Porter hands it off to Bailey. Sit back, and it's picked off, nearly stolen away by Methel, but that is going to be a backcourt violation as Izzy Bunyan dives on the floor, tries to save it in, and again, Umesi in the right place at the right time.
Fantastic defense there. Just disrupting the handoff. Disrupting the handoff is such a difficult defensive skill. She was able to move her feet well and still hold on. A bit of confusion there. Strickland went into the backcourt, but on a backcourt violation, you can't go back again.
And Bunyan driving to the basket. She's coming up against Methel, and she tries to pass out of it, but Cox gets it. Katie Cox hands it over to Gibbons. Cox, oh, tough move inside. Shot doesn't drop, but a good move from Cox.
Yeah, you know, she's really starting to flex what she has in her locker, and this might be the time.
And Methel again stealing it away, just steps out of bounds as she does, but she is all over Wales defensively.
Yeah, and a name that keeps popping up for the little things, and as a coach, you've got to make sure that you acknowledge that input afterwards, because you know we've talked about disrupting handoffs, getting in the way of passes, making a nice little post bounce pass, all the tiny things that when you do loads of add up to you being a key part of a winning team.
Porter out to Bailey for three. Oh, rims out. It's unlucky for that not to fall for Bailey. 13-point lead here for England.
Raffle almost there on the cut, just couldn't quite grab hold of the ball.
Porter. And it's picked up by Daisy Porter. She tries the three. That's too strong, but Bailey chases it down again. Bailey has been fantastic, and that is exactly what you said earlier, Tom. Emma Bailey just pushing the ball off Liv Forster, so it goes back with Wales.
Yeah, she's normally not diving out of bounds at the same time, but just the hustle to make every possession count, and vitally important down 13, 5 to go.
Porter has it grabbed by Stutz, so that's a jump ball, and it's England possession.
Yeah, just driving into traffic, tried to kick out, kind of lost the handle and struggled after that to really get the ball out. They just need to maybe make the kick out pass just a little bit earlier. Just once the defense is on the way in, once their momentum, physical momentum is taking them towards the key, make them try and change direction quickly, and you'll have closeouts to attack.
Methel for three. That's no good, but it was a good look from Methel, and she's hit some of those before.
Encouraged by Leah Edwards there. She passed it into Leah Edwards, and as she was passing it back out, went shoot it.
And I like to hear that. I think that's really great.
Short.
Edwards to Stutz in the corner. Stutz for three. That's not going to drop. Gets her own rebound though as it's tapped into her hands, and she'll set things back up for England. And Cox for three.
Right in Izzy Bunyan's face. Izzy Bunyan hand up. One of the longest contests, definitely the longest contest you can get out of the Wales team, and that's a big three.
That's a tough shot, and Cox locks it down the other end. Forster. Skip pass over to Methel. Driving the baseline. She's got Edwards there outside the arc.
Wow, that's the game. That's the game right there. That's the game. That's a brilliant sequence from England. Three by Katie Cox. Block. Three. Fantastic sequence for England.
Big shots, big defense.
Yeah, when the moments mattered, you know, probably the two big players on this team. If you had to rank them, those two are the ones you'd be looking to get it done, and they did.
Porter answers for 3.
Maybe a little too.
Did you call it too early? Did you call it too early?
I gotta maybe back myself here. You know, I hope I did call it too early. But yeah, just too much time off the clock. They need to put some points on the board in a hurry. Getting to the free throw line a fair bit would be a big help.
Forster being chased down by Porter. Passes out. Meffel for 3. That one doesn't fall. Rebound Bunyan. All the way over to Bailey, who just lays it in. And it leads down to 14, but with just under 3 minutes to play. Is this too much of a stretch for Wales?
Yeah, I'd say this is beyond them right now. I haven't seen many 14-point deficits overturned with less than 3 to play, and given the 3-point shooting is now 4 of 27 for Wales, and I know one of those was a half-court heave, but they need to put some points on the board in a hurry. They need to get to the free throw line. I think that's, if they're going to have any chance, they probably need another 10 attempts at the free throw line. I'm looking at the numbers, 12 of 19, so they keep up with that 60%. If they can get to 10 trips to the free throw line, knock down 6 of them, maybe push it to 7 or 8, given it's crunch time, chip away a little bit, that they're going to rely on getting to the free throw line here.
So Wales, they've been led by Daisy Porter. She has 22 points. And for England, again, Felicia Jacobs, fantastic performance in 22 minutes, 16 points, 13 rebounds.
Yeah, and you know, the numbers for Meffel don't look great. 2 of 9 from the field, 4 rebounds, but 3 of them offensive, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 foul, -4 while on court. That doesn't feel like it accurately reflects how much of a key contributor she was to just making sure this ticked over while Katie Cox was finding her rhythm to get going, while Olivia Forster was waiting for the opportunities to hit those threes.
She's doing all those things that just don't show up on the stat sheet. In Manchester, we like to call that the JLC, the Joe Leadham column, named after the great Joe Leadham. All that extra hard work off the ball that you don't see.
Yeah, absolutely. No, she'd be right at the top of the list probably today for that.
That's Porter powering down the court. Sees Bailey there. Behind the arc, wondered if Bailey might take the 3, but she's going to set things up. Into Bunyan. Bailey gets it back. Swings it round to Bunyan again. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 4. Bunyan driving against Edwards. Bunyan puts the shot up and banks it in! Izzy Bunyan at the buzzer.
That feels like a miracle shot. You could see the play they were trying to run, just didn't quite execute it. But when you've got a player of Izzy Bunyan's calibre, sometimes lack of execution in the set plays just means she's got the chance to show off what she can do.
Oh, great pass inside to Forster from Cox.
Answering it right back, and you could just feel the air seep out of the Wales bench there.
Puts the lead back up to 14 for England.
Yeah, they need to play a bit quicker here. Too slow advancing the ball.
Bailey.
That's better from them.
3's up and no good.
Executed that play better, but they need to get on with it.
And a foul called there.
That looks like a offensive foul.
I thought it was on Porter.
Yeah. Looks like referee's charged with potentially using her elbow to clear out some space.
So it'll be England ball. We've got Felicia Jacobs back into the game for England. Forster to Jacobs.
I'm not sure I see the elbow.
Gibbons hands it off to Thompson. She made a real impact earlier in the game, did Thompson. And Cox, 3 doesn't go. Thompson with the rebound. And there we see, as soon as she comes on court, Amber Thompson just being in the right place at the right time.
It's like Katie Cox maybe just got her ankle caught up in Izzy Bunyan as they tumbled after the rebound.
We're going to have have we got a timeout here? Didn't catch who called that one.
And I think maybe this is just a chance for Wales to run a set play and get another score.
And it's always good in situations like this, isn't it? You're down.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people wonder why timeouts are called this late when you're down this much late on. But it's a chance in a real game situation to run a play.
Yeah, and not only does it benefit Wales, and this has not been called to benefit England. Wales would benefit by getting to run this play. England, you know, they can set themselves this challenge. Right, we need to make sure we get a stop on this possession. Yeah. Okay, it's 76 all.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't foul. You know, if we say, right, we're going to switch everything and we're going to switch it hard and we're going to play proper defense, we'll get the ball, and you can pretend like it's a late game situation still. You know, you can still give yourselves those learning opportunities. Good chance for Longman and say, next time down the floor, let's try this new set entirely. You know, it also helps develop player IQ. You may not get to coach these guys again, but you can help develop their IQ. They have to look at the whiteboard, they have to see what you're drawing, they have to be able to execute it there in that moment.
And with a bit of a disruptive crowd as well. We've got some drummers on the baseline. We've had vuvuzelas in the crowd. So
musically inclined, the Welsh crowd. I'm so surprised we haven't had the male choir come out.
That'd just be adding to a fantastic atmosphere that we've had here the last couple of days at Archers Arena.
Yeah, I mean we've had some great moments. We've had, you know, I think my favourite game would be the game featuring England women and Ireland women, but the England men Ireland men. 52-14 at half-time, Kaz, and then that second half was unbelievable, wasn't it?
A 38-point deficit overturned to a 5-point deficit. I've never seen anything like it.
They went on a heck of a run, and when we spoke to the Irish coach afterwards, he said, yeah, every single 3-minute period in that second half, we won by 7, 8, 6, 2, 7. It's crazy.
Such a good approach. And that's a quick foul. Sideline ball, Wales.
England immediately disrupting that play with the foul. Next foul will be in the bonus, but they've ruined the play. I think I know what's coming here.
Porter, she's doubled. Needs some help. And manages to break it. Kicks it out to Porter. Bailey's in the corner. 3 is up, and that's no good.
I think she probably deserved one for just to help the numbers, but you know, she had to put up that half-court heave, and the numbers don't really reflect Emma Bailey's impact on this Wales team.
Forster against Porter. Cox goes against Bailey, stops, pulls up, and jumper's good.
Such a smooth release, just stops on the spot. That was a beautiful shot.
Porter for 3, and that's too short. So with 34 seconds to go, Wales will get another shot here. There's Bunyan going against Gibbons. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Bunyan steps back, puts it up, and draws the foul on the shot. And you wonder if, you know, may the game have been a little bit different if Izzy Bunyan hadn't picked up those 2 early fouls.
Yeah, I think they always plan to give her just a little bit of rest at times. She's got quite a heavy workload, especially recently in a couple of WBL games. The games here, they're off to Newcastle at the weekend. Really important that they're trying to manage her workload. And in WBL, Steph Connors and Cardiff Met have been helping manage that during this tournament. You know, it's a tough period, and last thing you want to do is pick up injuries towards the end of the season when you're due to head off to the States, not too soon into summer. But she's definitely taken longer breaks than I think they would have liked, based on the foul trouble.
So we see Grace Strickland checking for England. Katie Cox heading to the bench. A huge game from Cox, 18 points for her.
Very efficient.
The last 20 seconds of the game, and it's picked off by Bailey, and then stolen away again by Gibbons, who gets it over to Forster. And Strickland pass over to Thompson. It's knocked out, and it doesn't look like either team were looking to dribble it out there at all.
No, and I'm sure I heard the call of hold from the England bench, but well ignored.
So
you might as well just let them keep playing. Honestly, there's no harm in it. You know, there's no head-to-head or anything. But you know, if they want to practice and run something, no, it looks like she's going to probably take the smart decision and
will just
kill the
dribble
clock.
It out. So that will do it for the final game of the day. England 78, Wales 64, and England will finish 2-1 in the tournament. Wales 0-3, but a real inspired performance from Wales in that second quarter, especially from Daisy Porter. We saw some great play from Emma Bailey. They've had a lot of learning experiences throughout this tournament. They were led today, so Daisy Porter, 22 points, 7 of 12 shooting from 2. She had a fantastic game, really put the team on her back in the second. And Izzy Bunyan, 19 points, 6 rebounds. Emma Bailey, 16 points, 8 rebounds. And Bailey just tenacious defensively, just running after the ball all of the time.
Yeah, she's the captain for a reason. You know, she sets a great example with her leadership. You know, she hustles after everything possible, and I thought Daisy Porter had her best game of the tournament. But you know, you mentioned Katie Cox and Felicia Jacobs combining for 34 points on 14 field goal attempts and 12 free throws. Like their efficiency was absolutely crazy, and some of the shots that Katie Cox made were outrageous, high level of technical skill, and really great to watch.
They really were. 4 steals as well to go along with those 18 points, and Jacobs absolutely fantastic again. 16 points, 13 rebounds. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of those two as we go through the years, and they continue to grow and develop. So seen a couple of highlights there. Again, Jacobs just always in the right place at the right time under the basket. And thank you to everybody that's been watching on the Basketball Wales YouTube channel throughout today. Make sure to like and subscribe. It's been a fantastic couple of days of basketball. We're just going to go courtside with Tom and Leah Edwards for a quick recap on Leah's thoughts of today's game.
We're joined here by Leah Edwards of England. Leah, congratulations on the win. How do you feel after that?
I feel very happy. I was able to play today off of an injury, and I'm just happy my team came out with a win.
Yeah, you had 12 points, 12 rebounds, so a great performance from you there. Was that something you were looking particularly to do to impact the boards?
Yeah, that's my game. That's what I'm known for, so just trying to do all the little things.
So you guys suffered a tough defeat against Ireland earlier. Was that a real big motivating factor for you guys in this last game?
Yeah, I think it was. There was a lot for us to learn from, and I think we just took that into this game. We weren't complacent, and we just played how we normally play.
A lot of you played last year together as well, so does having the same players a few times, a few years in a row, help you out with that?
Yeah, it really does help you. Like I've said, some of these girls I've played with since I was 12. A lot of them I consider family. So yeah, I think just having a good group that we've just grown up together, I really like playing with everyone.
And then representing England, just what does that mean to you?
It means the world, actually. You don't know how lucky you are until you actually do it and you're in the moment. Sometimes you get overwhelmed, and no matter how many times you put the jersey on, it's always the same feeling.
Well, congratulations on the win, and
thank you.
Safe travels.
Thank you very much.
Leah Edwards there with Tom. And Leah, fantastic game, 12 points, 12 rebounds. And England having been led by Katie Cox, 18 points, 2 rebounds and 4 steals. So we'd just like to thank our sponsors for the last couple of days. iPro, Hydrate, Dynamik, Cardiff Met University, Bigfoot Basketball, Starting 5 and Sport Wales. And again, thank you to Basketball Wales for putting on such a fantastic tournament over the last couple of days. It's been 12 games over 2 long days. It's been tough for the players, but it's been a very enjoyable experience for them, and it's been tough for us here, but it's been again enjoyable for us.
Yeah, I absolutely love this event. It's probably one of my favourite part of the calendar. Obviously, these guys have put in a serious shift over the last 12 days. 12 days. It feels like 12 days, doesn't it? 12 games in 2 days. We've had some amazing basketball, some amazing young talent on display. It's not just the biggest event for the players. It's big. You know, it's big for us. We get to commentate in internationals, the referees and the statisticians, the table officials. A real chance for all of us to work at the high level. But what a treat that we've had over the last 2 days. And I said to you, I'm just very grateful to be working such an event.
Yeah, it's such a fantastic opportunity, and again a great experience, and we can just see here now, you won't be able to see on the court, but the amount of volunteers just out there now on the court pulling up the tape that's covering the lines on the floor. It's a long job. It's a very appreciated job, and thank you to everybody that helps put this event on over the last couple of days. It's been a great experience. So there we can see some of the results, scores from day one. It was England men that came away with a 3-0 finish in the men's side. And for the women, the Ireland team, after a win over England today, they finished unbeaten 3-0. Some fantastic basketball on display. You know, a lot of things that the teams can take back to their home nations with them, things to work on. Coaches will be putting things into practice, and again, just a great opportunity for coaches from the national team, from GB, to take a look at these players in action.
Yeah, and we've spoken to the Ireland coaches a fair bit, and the Ireland men coach were very happy that, you know, the way they came back in that second half against England, and also just their general preparations. He feels like they're more ready now for any other European Championships, and especially will be by the end of their prep schedule, than they ever have been. And then how can Tommy O'Mahony not be happy with the 3-0 and the beating of England there? I think that's an upset that was potentially coming, but I don't think anyone would have nailed on. And as they prepare for European competition, what a result to go in off the back of.
Exactly, and that's going to, you're going to have that in your mind as you're going into those competitions. So once again, thank you to everybody that's joined us throughout the last couple of days. Stay tuned to the Basketball Wales social media channels. Check out the Instagram. There's some great interviews out on there with table officials, players, coaches, and the final score here from the Archers Arena: England women 78, Wales women 64. Thank you for joining us today.